going on, everybody? What's going on? We're going to get started here in a few seconds. Just waiting for this intro to play out. I don't know if it's done or not. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on in the Raxverse this morning. Raxation domination. Okay, let's get started here. We got our co-host over there. As you can see, cat clawing at the door already, trying to get in. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the Raxverse this morning. Everyone's talking about the newest body cam footage released. The one where Akron police use a taser on Cyrax. Okay, that didn't happen, but you gotta admit, you would love to see that. I know I would love to see that. There's nothing I'd love more than to see the police show up and that little shithead freak out and them use a taser on him. Can you imagine? Oh, God, that didn't go where I was expecting there. I didn't even plan on saying that. It just came out. Okay, but anyways. Yeah, this new body cam footage where some Akron police officer, I don't have his name, wish I did. He's pretty much a hero. He just lets it be known. He tells Sally and Ed how it is. And Sally, of course, standing there, not listening, standing there with her phone out and her face buried right in her phone, won't even make contact with this cop as he's trying to give them important advice on how to handle Cyrax. Instead, here she is the whole time. Big smug look on her face. She's a piece of shit, you know? A lot of us felt sorry for her in the beginning because we didn't know the full story. But as times went on, we've realized she's an enabler. She enables that little monster. She protects him. She created him. Anyways. Yeah, these officers, I'm not going to play the whole video. It's 35 minutes long, and the way I yak, it'll be about 3 hours long if I went through the entire thing step by step. But I'll just try and find the good parts, the important parts. So let's go.
Out today. First call of the day.
First call of the day. Always thought that empty lot sitting next to their house. Why don't the Akron police just throw up a little building there? Just throw up a little building there, and that way they won't have to drive as far. They just walk out the door and walk right over whenever the 43s need something.
Oh, it's going on. Get in there. We want to show you.
There she is. There's old bag of bones.
So
there she is. Look, already got her face buried in that phone. Don't even want to look at the cop.
Yeah. So
see that? Look, already got her face buried in that phone. Ed is at least trying to have a conversation with the cop.
You know what it's already stemming from. I would just be flat out honest with you.
Look at that.
You need to get rid of your internet. And this is going to...
Well, then how do I pay my bills?
Well, I get that.
Else?
So...
How will Sally pay her bills without the internet? I don't know, maybe mail them in? You know, I know that's kind of old-fashioned. I don't do that either. I pay most of my bills online. But maybe she meant that, you know, how will she pay her bills? Because if she gets rid of her internet, that Sally Wilkins OnlyFans page will go away. And I know a lot of you guys out there are subscribers to the Sally Wilkins OnlyFans page. I know I am. Oh, God, I'm sick.
The other part of the thing is, you need to... Okay, fine. You need to get rid of his computer.
They need to just get rid of him. Not the computer, not the internet. They need to get rid of him. Is it too late to take Cyrax out in the woods and leave him there for some wolves and coyotes to eat.
That is going to be the only way that all of this shit stops, and you guys will be peaceful.
No, it won't. No. It'll never stop.
No.
It'll never stop. They're going to harass them. Oh, shit. It'll never stop.
If it was your family, what would you do?
Well, I 100%, I would handle business. Okay.
I mean, I'm not his dad. I'm her boyfriend.
Okay, and I get that. So then,
That's a whole other issue. Ed. Cyrax, of course, calls Ed my dad. Ed ain't his dad. What the hell is Ed doing there? I don't get it, man. What is Ed doing there? Sally's 72. Ed is around my age, if I'm right. Ed's in his 50s. So am I. Look at the difference. He looks a good 15, 20 years older than me. At least to me he does. I don't get it. I mean, damn. What's he doing there with her? Can you imagine that? I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine me going out today and finding myself a 72-year-old woman to shack up with. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. To each their own, I guess. At least they're both of legal age. Man, Ed's liable to break her hip one of these days.
And he is 34 years old.
okay, well then he needs to go. Because, Sally, how many times have we, as a collective, been out here going over the same stuff every single day? And I'm not talking about the alarms and all that, but over the same thing. Because we'll go back from last night with the original call, with the everything. They put it as a check and patrol to keep an eye out on your house. That's why they didn't send anybody out last night. Okay.
Well, we didn't need that until the 21st.
Right. Well, yeah. So that's why they put it out as why nobody came out for you yesterday or last night.
Well, you know, too, last week now we.
This here, they're just talking about how many times they have to come out, you know. I guess they have what's called a check and patrol. That sounds like, to me, where they don't actually get out and knock on your door. It's just you notify the police they have had numerous issues off and on, and they just do extra patrols around your block, you know, around your street. They don't, you know, actually make contact with you unless they see something, which kind of makes sense. Here, I want to bring this here up before I forget. I'm jumping ahead here, but oh well. Got three of Akron's finest here. You notice something common about all three of them. And you know how Cyrax loves throwing out that certain word. That certain word that shall not be spoken. You know how he loves throwing that fucker out. I hope the day he does get arrested, because it's going to happen again. Eventually, he's going to get arrested again. I hope it's one of these three guys, and I hope they have seen those videos of him on the internet yelling that shit, yelling that word he yells. You know, now I hope that yellow device there on their sides, I hope they stick that to him a few times. And I hope it's all on body cam. Call me a sadistic bastard, I don't care. Let me just jump ahead here. Because like I say, this video is very long. Someone outside banging on something. Cyrax out there trying to break in my house to beat me up.
On the rabbit hole, like that's not even that's just the regular Google. Like
you
I
know,
go to the pictures, the video section.
He's explaining to him here how he took his phone and he just typed in Chance Wilkins. You do that. Do it yourself. If you're new to all this, Just type in Chance Wilkins, maybe Chance Wilkins Akron, because there are more than one Chance Wilkins in the world. Chance Wilkins Akron. You will get hundreds of results related to this little freak. He's nothing but a little freak show. He's brought it on himself. Don't feel sorry for him. He's did very bad things. He's a bad person. As a society, for the past 20 years especially, we've really had this drummed into society about don't bully people, don't bully people. And in a sense, that's true. That's good. We don't want to send kids to school and them to get bullied and stuff like that because maybe they're a little different. But when it's someone like this here who has done some of the most sickest, depraved stuff and continues to do it, to me, hey, he gets what he asked for. That's just how I feel about it.
That's just...
Don't think just because he's weird looking, he's an innocent guy being picked on.
Put his name in. So those are those situations that ultimately you guys have to decide. Sally has to decide. But but you've been living here long enough to
Ed, pack your bags and get the fuck out of there.
kind of help as an outside looking in. Okay, put it like that, of the wear and tear that's been going on. Okay. And seeing this from an outsider looking in.
Right.
And even go that route with it. And kind of how it's affecting everyone.
Yeah. Let's bounce up here. I don't know. I mean, it's a long video. A lot of times they're just yakking about the same old stuff, but eventually, and I'm probably going to have a hard time finding it, he lays down the law and tells them, hey, he's going to jail if you guys don't straighten this shit up. If you don't get a handle on this, the cop flat out tells him, if you guys don't get a handle on this, it's going to lead to the point where he's going to cross the line and he is going to get arrested again. He's going to go to jail. It's going to happen. I wish I had the time stamp on that so I could pull it up real quick. I should have been prepared.
Sally, cut him off. Cut him off. He needs to start paying his own then. For vitamin K. And just you need sunlight, so every so often you need to come outside.
It's going to be a fight. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fight.
Damn, I mean, there's so much in here.
Around about the way you talk.
Yeah. And he never leaves the house for anything.
Nope.
Never get him outside for anything.
The first time
Never leaves the house.
2 weeks ago to the doctors,
Okay.
and that was it. He's back up in his room. He does not
What'd you get him to the doctor for?
His skin problem.
Okay.
Mr. Badass. Mr. Badass. Always telling people he's going to pull up. He's going to pull up and take care of them. Take care of business. He's going to beat someone's ass. And he will not even step off that porch. He will not.
We got the button. His trunk cleared up. We're still working on the ones on his head. He's got eczema.
Eczema. Eczema.
That's
Dermatitis.
Yeah.
That's
easy to find out. It's just skin disease. It's nothing fatal like what Cyrax was trying to let on. I wouldn't want that, of course, but it's not. He tried to make it sound like it was fatal. His legs were going to rot off. I wish his legs would rot off. Oh Lord.
That's because he doesn't go outside. He doesn't see the daylight. So that's part of it too.
there's no cure for it.
Yeah. Well,
No cure for it. See, he's got an
the
head.
severity of it.
Yeah.
But you can even look. You need to, and you can even tell him the doctor called. I'm hey, you need to start getting some sunlight, vitamin D. or vitamin K, and just like you need sunlight, so like every so often you need to come outside.
I wonder where Cyrax was while all this was going on, because this conversation lasted 35, 40 minutes. Where the hell was he? You would think the police out there, he would be down there snooping in, trying to figure out what's going on and trying to tell the cops for the 50 millionth time about how Music Biz Marty is behind all of this. He must have been asleep. That would make perfect sense. Daytime here, someone like him would be asleep because he stays up all night on the internet.
It's going to be a fight. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fight.
And
He starts yelling at her, and then they get me riled up, and then I gotta stick with her,
But then, so he needs to start doing that. But then eventually, it's going to be the point where, like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. You need to spread out and go on your own. Find an apartment, because I mean, he's getting what, Social Security disability?
No.
He gets nothing.
He gets nothing. He gets food stamps.
Food stamp. Well, Sally, cut him off. Cut him off. He needs to start paying his own then. He's 34. He needs to start paying rent.
That's what I've been telling him all these years.
He needs to start paying rent. He doesn't want to do it. Okay.
It's tough here. He's not receiving any sort of government benefits other than probably food stamps, which probably actually is lumped in with Sally's, I would guess. I don't know exactly how that works if you're numerous people living in the same house. But I find it hard to believe, I'm not taking up for him, but I see someone there who cannot work. I cannot imagine any kind of job he would be capable of. I mean, it would take a lot of paperwork, a lot of trips to the doctors and different stuff like that. But I'm certain he could get some sort of, I don't know, what's the term, disability? I have friends. I never really get into their personal business. They've never worked because they, well, at least not in a long time, because they have health issues. And they've never really held a actual job. But they get like some sort of government assistance. I don't know exactly what it's called. I guess since I don't know, I shouldn't try and sound like I know. To me, that's all goes back to Sally and her probably being too lazy and stupid to fill out the proper paperwork. And everyone screams about him. God, I'm sorry, I'm getting hiccups. He needs to get a job. He needs to get a job. I don't see how. Who the hell would hire him doing what? Who would hire him? He ain't going to be able to put him in a Walmart or a McDonald's. First off, McDonald's, would you want that around your food? Even if he's just cleaning the tables in the lobby. I wouldn't want that around. Walmart either. People bring children in there. I don't want him gazing at my kids and, staring at them and then going in the restroom wanking off. And using them as eye candy. I don't want that. Or he gets out in a store or a restaurant, and you got a lot of young girls working in them places. Some girls maybe only got them. Voice is on. I've said all this before. You got girls in them places, 15, 16 years old, working. You really think that creep's going to be able to keep his hands to himself? He's going to say something, do something. And hopefully, I just don't see how he could hold a job. I couldn't see him. He's not smart enough to, He's unemployable.
Then evict him out of here. Send him on his own.
Don't you have to go through the court system to...
Yep, go down and evict him. Give him his 30 days. You don't want to do that. These computers.
There's Sally's, he's telling Sally she needs to evict him. And Sally is just looking away, will not even make eye contact. Ed's making eye
I gotta
contact.
stick with her, you know.
But then, so he needs to start doing that. But then eventually, it's going to be the point where, like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. You need to start. You need to spread out and go on your own. Find an apartment. Because, I mean, he's getting what? Social Security disability?
No.
He gets nothing.
He gets nothing. He gets food stamps.
Food stamp. Oh, Sally, cut him off. Cut him off. He needs to start paying his
She
rent.
will never.
He's 34.
She will never.
He needs to start paying rent.
That's what I've been telling him all
He
these
needs
years.
to start paying rent. He doesn't want to do it. Okay. Then evict him out of here. Send him on his own.
Don't you have to go through the court system to...
Yep. Go down and evict him. Give him his 30 days. You don't want to do that. You need to start paying me rent. Well, I don't have money.
She will never.
But guess what? You have all these computers. You have all this technology.
She will never evict him. Never. She would cut off her right arm before she would evict him. And it's going to come down to it. I mean, look at her. 72. She looks more like 85. You know. From my personal experience, people get up around 80 and they tend to just suddenly drop, you know, check out, for a more better term, I guess. You know, they pass away. Usually natural causes, medical conditions, old age, whatever. You know, she ain't got a long time. She don't look good. When that happens, he will get evicted because Ed is not going to stick around there and take care of that baby boy. I know Ed probably tells Sally, oh, if something happens to you, I'll take care of him. He's not going to. He's not going to at all. Ed will pack his bags and be gone. And then Cyrax will be sitting in that house, get a knock on the door from the sheriff saying, hey, you got to get out. Nobody's paid the rent here for 2-3 months. He probably would have starved to death by then, though. They'll knock on the door and they'll get no answer, so they'll go on inside and they'll find his little skeleton, which I don't know if you can see it in back of me there. They'll find that. They'll find that in the corner somewhere, and a couple old Hot Pocket wrappers. He's so stupid he can't even use a microwave. He depends on Sally for everything. Everything. He wears diapers. Yes, people. He wears diapers. He depends on her to make his food. Depends on her for everything. Everything. He's like a leech.
Technology stuff, you can start selling that off. Then
Cop telling him to make him sell all his computer. The officer's telling him, you know, make him sell all his computer equipment to help pay the rent here. You know, that's easier said than done. Nobody's gonna. First off, he would never do that. Never. He would never agree to that. Second, people would take one look at him and take one look at the stuff. I would hope nobody would buy that stuff, because you take it home, it's bound to be infested with roaches and bed bugs. You know, especially electronic equipment. People don't realize. You know, electronic equipment, it can attract roaches inside. I learned that the hard way many years ago when I was younger. I was taking apart some radio or handheld video game, I think, and get it opened up. I'd found it somewhere. So I was thinking, I can fix this thing. Open it up. roaches poured out of it. There's nothing that disgusts me more than roaches. Man, I see a roach. You talk about, if I seen a roach right now going across my floor, I would sound like a little old lady. I'd jump up on top of this desk and be screaming. That's my one. I mean, spiders don't bother me, snakes don't bother me, but roaches, oh God, I absolutely hate those things. But God, what am I getting at? This little bastard here, all his equipment. Nobody wants that shit. First off, he probably mishandles it and breaks it. It probably don't work right. Probably ain't worth a dime, actually. It's probably the cheap stuff you buy at a discount off of eBay somewhere that someone's already used. He gets mad and slings the shit around and breaks it. Yeah.
Start paying his own then. He's 34.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to start paying rent.
That's what I've been telling him all these years.
He needs to start paying rent. He doesn't want to do it. Okay. Then evict him out of here. Send him on his own.
Don't you have to go through the court system?
Yep. Go down and evict him. Give him his 30 days. You don't want to do that. You need to start paying me rent. Well, I don't have money. Okay. But guess what? You have all these computers. You have all this technology stuff. You can start selling that off. Start paying me rent. Then, well, I don't want to do that. Okay. Here's your 30-day eviction notice. You got 30 days. After 30 days, you will be removed. And you'll be on your own. Unless you want to start doing support services. Going to the doctor. Going to mental health services.
Now that's all
That's
30, now 30 days is it?
Yeah, it's a 30 days.
Ed's all for getting his ass out of there.
After 30 days, then the court.
Ed's like wanting to go over this 30-day clause to evict somebody.
So they do a 3-day notice, like, hey, just be aware I'm going to be serving you. They have to do a 7-day. But then you go up, you have to pay to do the eviction because you have to process it and everything at the courts.
Right.
The 30 days, the official, you have to serve him in person, which he's not going anywhere, so it'll be easily be served.
Well,
Here's your eviction.
Ed wants to know step by step. Ed's wanting to know step by step. What do we got to do to evict this bastard? Exactly now. Tell me again. Let me write this shit down. Let me get all the notes here. How do we go about evicting him? Can you blame him? Man, Ed, what are you doing there anyways? What are you doing there? I don't get it. I'd sleep in a car somewhere. Get me an old raggedy van. Sleep somewhere, an old camper. Remember those old Winnebagos from the 70s? RV, that's a more modern term. Get one of those suckers, man. I'd sleep in that before I'd sleep here with these idiots.
dude, right now I'm not working.
That's okay. Yeah.
I mean,
so
it's all, everything's on her.
Yeah. So that'll be kind of those type of things that.
Because I got surgery.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Fusion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from C2 to T2.
Woo.
See, Ed had pretty major surgery recently. Ed was always there to break up the fights between Sally and Cyrax. And now Ed, he's had this surgery and he's still recovering. He always was Sally's defender. Not so much now, Cyrax could take advantage of this situation and really turn on Sally one of these days, especially if Ed's not there. Ed goes out to the store or whatever. That little shithead flips out at Sally about something and attacks her. He's did it before. This is all documented for any new people. I'm not making it up. Any new people? 2012, he jumped on her. Every video I go over this just about. He jumped on her and beat her up. Got arrested. There's mugshots. It's all documented. He beat her up. He'll do it again.
plates.
He's probably done it since, and they just didn't call the police. There's no doubt in my mind. You abuse a woman once, you're going to do it again.
Titanium.
Well, my fingers were going numb from ear to ear.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
So, Sally, those would be those things that you kind of work at that system.
Look at her.
Okay. And
She ain't even
that's
paying
where
attention.
you start paying rent. Well,
She's just playing with her fucking phone,
Start selling your computer.
playing Candy Crush
That's all
Saga.
the gamer stuff. That's expensive stuff. Right? I mean, if you paid for it, then you know that's expensive. Go in that route. Then we're going to start evicting. And then start working it that way.
She ain't even paying that cop any
If you don't wanna
attention.
do that,
She's just playing around with her phone.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh yeah. So then you start doing those type of things. Maybe.
What the hell did she show him, I wonder?
Well.
But it had nothing to do with what they're talking about.
Start going to therapy. Start taking medication. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, then I'm going to serve you an eviction. And start giving him ultimatums. You can choose. I'll let you choose.
FedEx truck.
Well, then
FedEx truck in the background.
all the yelling and screaming.
If you guys get into an argument and get into these verbal fights, that's what we're for. We will come in and start talking and doing this stuff, and it's going to be.
I was Cyrax's age, I admit it. Obviously I'm a little older now. I'm in my 50s. When I was 33, 34, I had a good job, real good job. Making lots of money, had nice cars, had a lot of friends, went a lot of places, did a lot of things. Like I'm certain most of you do. That fucker, he just living his life in that attic. Doesn't realize the world going on around him, stuff he should be getting out and enjoying.
The same conversation that we're going to do and advise you, like you need to do this, and if you can't take these arguments carrying on, doing all that stuff, then he wants to bitch and moan about that stuff, then it's time for him to go and do that paperwork. So unfortunately, Sally, I think you're at your crossroads.
Look at her.
With him, and I know
she refuses to look at the cop.
I think ultimately your well-being is going to be.
Fuck her.
You won't be able to take care of him if you're not going to be around. Ultimately, and you don't want to have. I don't know what your health is like, but
mine's my health is fine.
Okay.
She's 73 years old.
Hey, don't push it.
I wouldn't have.
Only 72.
Okay, I never would have thought that. So, but ultimately, one ill-happened issue will change that, and I don't want that for you guys. So I mean, I'll put everything in for you.
I can't think of one time. I know a lot of people when they're young, teens, maybe early 20s, get the cops show up at their house and talk to their parents about the shit you're doing wrong. Never had that myself. At least not that my parents told me. I mean, this guy's 34. 34. And he's got cops coming, talking to his mom, his grandma, about the things he's doing and the path he's on.
Around there, especially weekends. So I think the 21st is this
Sunday.
Week is Sunday. So I'm working this weekend, so we'll be around.
Yeah.
For sure. We'll keep an eye on your place.
I don't think that there's a cop that hasn't been.
Well, there's not. I mean, and
see, I admit it.
Regularly work the area. So
I admit it. You look around this room. I'm a big kid. There's a lot of stuff. I got in here that's like, what on earth? Then again, it's all a part of it. This doesn't represent my entire life. All this video game equipment. It's more to me than just this stuff. I got weird stuff I find funny, but I'm not like that. At least I hope people don't think I'm like that guy.
Definitely around. And like I said, this is first stop on my day. So I'm here till 9. I'll be around.
Okay.
Anything else, and if you have any more issues or anything like that, call. Any more texts or anything.
I know this video's went too long. God, 35 minutes already. People are not going to watch the entire thing. Ugh, that's a problem. I get talking about these videos and I just can't shut up. There's one part, and I wish I knew where it was in here. The cop flat out tells him, that he's standing a good chance of being arrested with all his actions. He's not far from it.
With everything, they put it as a checking patrol to keep an eye out on.
I'm going to just bounce through here real quick and see if I can find that, and we'll play it, and then call it a day.
Your house. That's why they
Because I think it's very important to hear.
didn't send anybody out last night. Okay. Tell ya, but that's typically we don't need it.
Right.
All we just need to do is see what was going on. What was it?
Discord or links where they talk about it. They're laughing, but they're planning.
Yeah, they're
Planning. I now have his parents' address,
parents' address.
and I'm sure they could give it to you guys.
Okay.
She has what she thinks Marty's parents' address. She has a grown man. I don't know how old Marty is. Grown adult, of course. Telling the cops, I got the guy that's bullying my son's parents' address. Ain't that some shit?
So what's going on today?
Right.
All we just need to do is see what we got one from last night from like a 447 area code.
Well, that could be anywhere.
It can be anywhere. They're wanting welfare checked on Chance because they're worried about him.
Deal with it.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with your guys' frustration over the situation.
7 years, dude.
I know. I mean,
come on.
Ed back here yelling, 7 years! I don't know if I'll be able to find it or not.
How much can you take?
exactly. And
Here
that
comes someone
is
walking
kind
down
of
the
point
street.
that we're at with you guys is how much are you guys? I mean, you guys have to sit down with him and go, look, man.
I think this is it.
He gets up and stomps off again.
Yeah,
No,
but
now
there's
there-
going to be a point
No,
where
there was
Here,
a time
this is
that
it.
he wasn't on it.
yeah,
And the same shit happened. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's never
So-
It doesn't matter if we get him off the internet or not. They're still doing it.
Still gonna
Yeah.
happen.
But he's some of his posts are getting weirder and weirder.
This is it.
I mean,
I don't doubt it. I mean,
well, yeah. So it's going to get to a point where if he's going to say or threaten or get to a point where he's going to do things that are a little bit over the top, he may get arrested.
well,
okay.
he's never gonna leave the house.
Well, I understand that, but if he's going to do certain things, like he's getting close to showing things that he should be showing on internet, and then he's going to be done.
Just because you heard Ed say he never leaves the house. It don't matter. Why should this little freak be given a free pass to get on the internet, flash his bird at Lord knows who's watching, threaten people, threaten to unalive people, threaten to burn people's houses down? Why should he be given a free pass just because he's a slow person and never leaves the house? Why should he be given a free pass on that? Whereas if me or any of you, any of us, said anything remotely like that, we would be getting a knock on the door. You could be certain of it.
And and you won't be able to help him because he's getting close on some of these posts.
Right there, the cup's telling him he's going to get arrested.
Or threaten or get to a point where he's going to do things that are a little bit over the top, he may get arrested.
Good.
Okay. He's never going to leave the house.
Well, I understand that, but if he's going to do certain things, like he's getting close to showing things that he should be showing on internet.
His pecker?
And then he's going to be done. And and you won't be able to help him. Because he's getting close on some of these posts. Okay? So, I will just leave it at that. And you don't have to imagine what I'm trying to tell you.
I know what you're trying to say.
So, as soon as that happens, he's done.
Well, you know, too, I mean, he's done there, but what about the damage? Damage to the house, damage to the roof, damage to the car.
Give me 1 second. This is one of the detectives.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now, but yeah. They don't realize. They think, how different is it, you know, from going on a public website that virtually anybody these days and age can view from anywhere, YouTube. You know, anyone can go on YouTube and, you know, just watch any video. You know, sometimes it'll say age restricted, but how well does that work? You know, how different is it than to go on something like YouTube and expose yourself than it is to go into a public park where there might be children around and expose yourself? Is it really any different when you stop and think about it? To me, it's not. It's not any different. You know, now if this was, oh God, some sort of website that is, if it wasn't YouTube and it was a different type of website where it is known to be, hey, this is more aimed for adults, you know, then that's a little bit different. Yeah, but anyone could be watching that shit, anyone. Especially little kids. They see some freaky looking guy like that, they're going to stop and want to watch. I don't know. A blown warning, as usual. But I guess that's about it. If you want to watch the whole video without me yakking my way through it, just go on Rumble. It's on Rumble. I don't know exactly where at. I'm not very familiar with Rumble. One thing about Rumble that I wanted to add, I've noticed a lot of people, this ain't good, a lot of people are willing to be more open and say things controversial. I don't know, I'll get in on that later. You know, I've noticed people saying shit that they should have their mouths busted for. But that's just life. Okay, everybody. Sorry this was so long. 45 minutes. I don't know. What I should have did was just split this into 2 videos, I guess. But, you know, I hope everyone watches it. Hope you watch it. Like I say, go on Rumble, look it up. Whose channel on Rumble is it on? Let me check real quick. Watch history. I think it's on Rumble. Maybe I'm wrong. Where the hell did I get this from? I don't know. God dang it. I don't know. Just look it up somewhere and watch the entire thing if you want. I don't know what I'm doing. What do you expect out of me? Everyone have a good day. Like, comment, subscribe. Throw eggs at me if you want. I don't care. Have a good day.